Well, the word this time is follow. There's Jesus inviting us to follow him. Let's think about what that means. If you needed to go somewhere, how would you find out the way? There are lots of possible answers, of course. The choices could be a bit scary. What could you do? You can pause the video if you like for a moment while you think about this. Here's some possible answers, and I said there's lots. Of course, you could get a map. Now, maps could be very, very useful, especially if you're looking for buried treasure, but perhaps not always quite so good. You might well want to ask Google. Well, why not? Google can be very, very helpful too, but you could get lots of answers that aren't really the ones that you need. Or perhaps if you're with somebody who's in a car, you could use a sat-nav or just a phone. Though again, you have to know where you're going, and you have to know that right from the very beginning. Same is probably true if you use a guidebook. These can be very interesting and very, very helpful, but you need to know the way. Well, if not a guidebook, how about a guide dog? Wonderful creatures. They're so very, very helpful, especially if you've got eyesight that isn't too good. Though, again, you have to tell the dog where you want to go. So perhaps not a guide dog, but a guide person. Somebody you can follow, somebody who can show you the way. Trouble is, journeys can be difficult. They can be scary. You might get lost, not know where you are. That would be awful. And we sometimes need people who can comfort us and guide us and encourage us. We need people to walk with us so that we can share the journey. And of course, we need somebody who we can follow, somebody whose footsteps we can walk in. Well, Jesus tells us a story of what it's like to follow him. He says it's like wheat that grows in the field. There you can see the grains of wheat all joined together in the sunshine. But eventually they'll fall off. And when they do, the single grain is very tiny. It looks a bit like a stone. When it falls to the ground, it looks as though it's died. And yet, when it's buried in the ground, it isn't dead. It starts to grow. And it grows, and it grows, and it grows, until the wheat fills the field. So very beautiful. Now, following Jesus can be like that. It can be difficult. Sometimes it can be lonely. Sometimes people give their lives for Jesus, just as he died for us. We need the encouragement of Jesus and the encouragement of prayers of other people. But if we do follow him, if we do keep with him, he'll always be with us, and we'll always be with him.